Hey, it's Gina at Tarot and Time. I'm feeling pretty Scorpio today, so this is going to be a really deep reading. We've got a lot going on with Venus and Pluto. We have Mercury retrograde starting this week. It's intense. So where's the gift in this, right? 6-year in numerology 2022 is, and it's the year of the gift. So what gift does all this intensity bring us? That's what I want to know. I've been writing about it, journaling about it, trying to see where's the gift in this, because it can feel pretty intense at times. There's a lot of changes happening. We talked about this Venus-Pluto dance. You can listen to it back on some of the older videos, but the bottom line is that Pluto rules Scorpio. It's the planet of transformation. It rules death and rebirth. It rules sex and deep emotions. It's a very hot and steamy house in astrology, but it's a water house, depth. Scorpio has that little tail on the end of the M that like goes underground. It wants to go deep in emotion. So we've got this planet of transformation. We had Venus kind of bopping along, getting close to Pluto, right? This started about November 25th, that Venus started to get close to Pluto. We were kind of sweating it November 25th, and then we noticed that we're start to begin to get past it, and then Venus went into retrograde. Venus retrograde then sent Venus back over Pluto, or at least it feels to be moving backwards. So right about now, January 10th, Monday, Venus is going to be at the same degree that it was on November 25th when this all started, right? So I love journaling. I love writing on my calendar kind of little notes about what's happened on days, so that when things like this come up, I can look back and see what was going on, right? Look back in journals. So what was going on November 25th? What came up for you? So Venus, all that self-love, that self-care that rules relationships, especially relationships with women, relationship with yourself, anything of value, right? And then Pluto, which wants to change everything. It wants to show you the deepest, darkest shadow side of your soul. And so this is really deep work that's been going on. And I will not stop. And I won't believe that there's not a gift in this, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Because you want to see that bottom line. You want to see where your pains are coming from, right? It's not always pretty. It's like I think of the basement, deep down work. What's really going on? What's really running down there? What's really functioning down there? And what needs to transform and be brought into the light? So that's what's going on. This is intense stuff. Now we've got more layers to this intensity. Oh yes, we do. More opportunities for a gift. So this Venus-Pluto thing is going to lighten up a little bit starting in the week of January 16th, because Venus is going to move back away from Pluto enough. That's going to start to ease off a little, but it's not over, okay? So Venus will go direct on January 29th, and then it will start traveling back towards Pluto. So by February 22nd, I'm using my cheat sheet here, we'll be within about 7 degrees. They'll be within about 7 degrees of each other, and we're gonna feel that till about March 15th. So this deep work is not over. So get your pen and your paper out and start journaling. What's been coming up? What needs to go? What emotions, deep emotions, and I'm talking deep stuff. Like this goes back to your childhood, if not back other lifetimes. This is deep work. This is the time. You know, we thought that we moved out of 2021, which was a year of change. It's not over yet. This work needs to be done so we can move ahead. So, an interesting thing that's going to happen this week is that Mercury is going to go retrograde. So Mercury, the planet of communication, it rules roadways. I think it rules neural pathways. It's a messenger. And it's going to also go into its retrograde. So from January 14th to January 29th, we're gonna have 2 retrogrades going on. And then we'll move into some shadow periods still. So again, I don't see the clear, lighter energy happening till March 15th. That's my take on it. Okay, so instead of just crying and complaining about all this that's happening, because we can so do that, and believe me, I've had my moments. What do we get out of this? So Mercury, this is another interesting fact, because you've heard me talking the last few weeks about how Uranus, the lightning bolt of change that rules Aquarius, is square Saturn that rules Capricorn. Saturn's like the old way of being, the way it's always been, the structure. It's like the government. It's the rules of our life. It's our career. And they're bumping into each other. Uranus wants to break things down, right? Capricorn doesn't want to really change anything. So there's that going on. And this is the part that I thought was pretty interesting that I realized this morning. The Mercury retrograde is going to start at 10 degrees of Aquarius, right? That's ruled by Uranus, that lightning bolt of change. And as Mercury moves backwards, it's going to go back into the sign of Capricorn. So we are going to have more Uranus-Saturn energy going on, wanting to break things up, wanting us to be able to speak up, not wanting us to be able to create new pathways for ourselves and our minds and our lives, breaking down old structures, outdated things. And Venus wants us to love ourselves more and to get rid of the garbage that doesn't work, burn it, right? Pluto wants to burn things up. I recommended, and Sheila Haidt recommended it in her video, to make a list of 6 things, 6 because this is a 6-year in numerology, 6 things you want to burn to the ground. Emotions, feelings, things you will no longer accept. Write it down, throw it in a bonfire if you can, throw it in your wood stove, or just simply safely light it over a toilet and flush it, okay? So, deep work, looking back, what's been going on? What's the opportunity? I think Mercury retrograde is a great opportunity for information to come to us. That's a lot of the times how I experience it. And because it starts in the sign of Aquarius, it's an air sign, right? It's the mind, it's thought. There's so much there going on about thought, and then going back into Capricorn, almost like these outdated thoughts that are ready to move out, okay? So this is exciting, it's intense, but it's going to change us, and let's envision it happening for the better. So even just looking at the chart for the week ahead, all of the planets are on one side. Wherever, it depends on what your rising sign is, but they're kind of all together. And so that can just kind of make an extreme, right? Where it's not balanced as much. So just know that that's what's going on. Some of it, not all of it's just happening with you. It's happening for all of us. That energy is available. So if you would like to know where this Pluto-Venus conjunction, and now we've got the sun mixed into it, we've had Mercury mixed into it, where that's happening for you in your chart, just comment below, write your date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth, and I'll respond and let you know what house this is happening. So I'm a Cancer rising, and this is happening in my 7th house and touching on my 8th house. So any of you Cancers out there, that's the answer. It's 7th house is the house of relationship. It's Libra's house. It's a Venus house also. 8th house is Scorpio's house, the house of transformation. So yeah, please feel free to comment below. I'm also going to put the coupon code back up so that if you want to have a more in-detailed session to talk more about how it's affecting you, you can use the coupon. And these are for in-person in Kent, Connecticut, or via Zoom. And yes, it's still very effective. All right, so let's talk about, we start off the week. Monday's a little bit of a harder day because there's some squares going on between the sun and the moon, and there's some Pluto squaring the moon energies. So Monday is a little bit more of an intense day of the week, so take it slow. The moon will move into Taurus on Monday morning. It's a great time to do Venus-like things. Relax, enjoy, take it slow if you can. Or maybe you just symbolically do that by taking a really nice bath at the end of the day. Something where the Venus self-love is the theme. So Tuesday, Wednesday, moon in Taurus, and by Wednesday night, the moon will move into Gemini, 10:08 p.m. Now, yes, we will be in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, but if there's any last important paperwork, documents that you need to sign, if there's any major purchases you need to make. Yes, Venus is still in retrograde, it is, but let's not make it more complicated with Mercury in retrograde, especially since it rules the roadways that get our products delivered to us. So get those things signed, get the major purchases, buy them before Mercury goes into retrograde at, let's see, what time is it? 6:41 a.m. Eastern time on Friday the 14th. Okay, so, you know, yes, you're still in a shadow period, but get it done. It's better than doing it during retrograde. Some things are just unavoidable, and it's if you've already started something, a project, all that, then obviously you need to keep moving ahead with it. But Mercury retrograde, we have to be really careful about the things that pop up out of the blue. Okay, so if you decide all of a sudden to buy something really big in retrograde, you know, the only way you're gonna understand is to learn, right? But it tends to have more problems and get more complicated, so keep it in mind. Okay, so I have a Gemini weekend. Busy, busy, busy. Gemini likes to keep busy, moves quickly, and then the moon will move into Cancer by Saturday morning, the 15th, 11:11 a.m. And what does Cancer rule? It rules the home, and it loves to be home. Or if it goes, it likes to travel in comfort. So make sure that you're extra kind to yourself this weekend. This is a great weekend to sleep in if you can. This is a great weekend to just be kinder, have some great meals, and relax, cuddle in bed. So for the piles, I chose some cards here. I'm doing an interesting twist here. So I took the Death card because it's ruled by Pluto, and I took the Tower card because it's ruled by Uranus, right? We've got Mercury retrograde happening in Aquarius, it's ruled by Uranus. We have the Saturn and Uranus squared. So I took each pile has one Death card and one Tower card from different decks. And then I picked an Oracle card to go on top of that. So go ahead, pick what you'd like here. The first pile is called Ancestry. This is from Carrie Paris's Relative Oracle deck. Pile 2 is Blessing. Pile 3 is Mischief. Let's get started. Pile number 1, we have this Ancestry card. I heard this was Carrie Paris's card that her whole deck was based on. So what my idea was putting this together is that we have one Death card and one Tower card, and then this Oracle card represented some of what needed to be broken up. So I have not looked at any of these. I picked the oracles randomly. Let's see what your Death card and Tower card look like. So this is from a golden version of the Rider-Waite. So you have the classic Death card here, right? And ruled by Pluto. So you have it looks like a priest kind of blessing the death. You have a child looking on with innocence. You have a younger woman looking away in denial. And so there's just all these different levels of death acceptance, right? We know it's a part of our life, but sometimes we don't want to look at it. And then we have the Ancestry card here in the middle with this child's ancestors, and this child looks like an angel here. So there's something there about your ancestors that have already passed. And the Tower card is coming from the Everyday Witch. This is one of my favorite Tower cards, where it's less of feeling like a victim. And believe me, with all of this energy going on right now, it's very easy to fall into that victim mentality. But she's actually looks like she's responsible for this breakdown and not afraid to take credit for it. So there's something here generationally. There's something here. It feels very much like Capricorn, breaking down the old, and like this connection of like letting go of this fear of death for you, and letting go and knowing that like almost like you'll go when you're ready. She's almost deciding. That's what I'm picking up from this. Okay, so let's see what we need to know. So basically, those are the themes for what's looking to change right now for you with this Ancestry card. Where is this gift, this opportunity of change lie? All right, we're going to jump in. I've got a bunch of different decks here. We're starting off with the Magician, the Enchanter, from the Forest of Enchantment deck. I love this. I love the owl up at the top. This is the Magician, and he very much is related to Scorpio, to Pluto. I believe he's also related to Mars. So there's this magic here. The owl there so feels like it's kind of symbolizing that Pluto death energy. He's got the magic. I'm just getting that there's just so much more than meets the eye when it comes to life and death. And this Enchanter is here just making this magic happen. Okay, so let's see what we've got next. In the heart of the matter, we have the Page of Cups. This fallen over cup, this big porpoise kind of looking on. Page of Cups is usually feels so light and playful. This one almost feels like the cup's fallen over, almost like it's been given up upon. So there's something there in the heart. There's almost like this sadness, this spilled cup. Not seeing the whole picture too, I guess. Okay, supporting the heart is the Tower. Look at that. That's like some ant tower that they built. Pretty wild. So this is coming in supporting the heart of the matter. And you know, I did that on purpose. Used some decks that still had the Tower and Death card in there just to see if they'd come up again. So you have double Tower energy going on here. It's actually coming in to support the heart. These ants have built this together. It's a team, right? And it's the first thing, this Ancestry card is really making me feel like your team is here. They have your back. They're ready. When you're ready, they will be there for you. When you decide to make that cross and not to have to worry about death all the time. I guess that's what I've got there. Your Foundation card, we have the Three of Pipes or Three of Wands. Much lighter, looking out at the big picture, living your life. Being freed from this worry here. In the background, we have the Hanged Man. I love this version. This is very Virgo-like. It's ruled by Mercury. There's being held. There's this, he's held there. He's actually turned into the tree. And, all right, let's see what else we've got. We've got the Two of Stones, Two of Pentacles. She's clearing this stones and this water. So there's something going on here too in relationships, stones, pentacles, very Venus energy. And there's this clearing, there's this two in relationship. And I feel it just keeps going back to the relationship with yourself, looking at things from a different perspective, looking at the bigger picture. And it goes back to this roots thing, right? That there's like this big family tree behind you, and you're part of it. You may not feel part of it, but you are. It's bigger than just the immediate family. All right, let's see what's going on in your forward position. Two of Swords, so another two. So taking this time during these retrograde periods, because retrograde feels kind of like this, like having to see it from the different direction. And Virgo's ruled by Mercury, which is interesting. So this is a time to go in to review, especially the relationship with yourself, especially with this Venus-Pluto stuff. With this opportunity now to think about like what you really want. Like Aquarius is like so forward moving, and Capricorn feels so like antique. So it's almost like, what do you want? What information, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And the information can come to you through going in. It's not going to be through logic. It's going to be through going inward. Here's the Six of Visions, and so light and beautiful, but still such a way of going in. There's the owl up there. Relaxing. So this is a great time for you during these retrogrades, and this is really the week ahead, but Mercury retrograde starts this week, take some time. Take a time to really just rest, reflect, do some of the journaling I've been talking about. See where you were at November 25th, what's happened, what's come up for you since then. And take a look at it, not out of guilt or shame or blame, out of just what needs to be seen right now, what needs to come up. And there's something here that's ready to transform about your fear of death, about your fear of the unknown, and stepping up with a little bit more power that you, almost like when you go, you will be ready, almost like you will choose the moment. That's what I'm getting from this. And you can kind of relax into that and enjoy what's going on right now and really do some inside cleanup work because you're ready. Okay, I'm gonna roll some dice. Jupiter, Cancer, first house. All right, well, Jupiter in the first house is a fantastic placement. It's very lucky to start off in your life, really. First house is your life. Cancer is nurturing, right? So there's something here about this fresh perspective to be able to expand, because Jupiter likes to expand, the more gentle kindness to yourself. This is a new opportunity to be able to do this cleanup work so you can have this restful expansion of restful, nurturing energy in your life. Okay, I'm gonna pull a few charms. Okay, up at the top we have a mermaid. The Eiffel Tower fell to the side. I have a fairy, this big chunk of labradorite, stone of magic here that fell, I think it fell on the Page of Cups there. So almost like going back to like the wonders of nature, so to speak. We have some drum kit here, so some music is needed, some lightness. There's number 5, there's some change. You've got an anchor. You hear Sheila Haidt talking about using ankle weights in her reports. And this might be a good time for you to wear ankle weights when you're around the house, just to stay grounded with all these changes. You've got this little gift here, and we were talking about the 6th year being the year of the gift. I've got the letter I. Okay, and I'm gonna do some Scrabble pieces, just because they're fun, and we need a little fun here. Okay, let's see. What do we have? A C. I have the word cake. Yes. And I have the word tea. Tea cake. And let's see, do I have the word bed? Okay, got a lot of E's. Got the word beef. Beefcake. Okay, what else? I have the word L-A-T-E, late. And I've got a lot of I's, 3 I's. And I had another I here, I. Okay, and Geo. Okay. I hope you get to sleep late. We did roll Cancer. I hope that you take some quiet tea times. You enjoy some cake. Everything doesn't have to be so intense, right? There's an intensity going on right now, but we need to balance it out with some softness. So let them eat cake, right? Have a great week. Pile number 2. Blessing. It's beautiful. So the premise of what I was thinking when I put this together was I picked out the Death card and the Tower card from a bunch of decks. This one happened to get 2 of the same deck. This is the Modern Witch Tarot. We just got in stock and I love it. So what I was thinking is that because there's so much Pluto energy out there right now, right? And that rules a Death card, change and deep emotions. And then with all the Uranus energy, with Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Aquarius to start, with Uranus and Saturn square, which we were talking about in the opening, these are big, heavy hitter planets. This is intense energy. And I wanted to find the gift in it and see what it is that needs to change, what needs to go, because all this energy is here to help us push some stuff out. So I have the Oracle card kind of reflecting what it is. What is it that needs to change? So the word blessing, I'm not sure yet. Let's see how this plays out. So we have the Tower card here. It's a pretty intense one. Lightning bolt of change. Interesting, these people are like falling onto these icebergs down below. Or maybe they're just sharp rocks, but they sure look like icebergs. Wow. Okay. And for your Death card, this is like a Rider-Waite version. So different people accepting death in different ways. Some looking at it straight in the face. Some with the child very innocently. The little bit older girl just looking away, right? And we all have to accept that this is part of life. Not always easy for us to accept. And then this Blessing card. So I'm not sure what to think of the Blessing card yet. I'm going to get started with the reading. Let's see what happens, what you need to know this week, how you can get a gift out of all this intense energy going on right now. So we're starting off with the Four of Challenges, the Four of Swords. It's like a giving tree, isn't it? It's like all cold all around it, yet it is giving fruit. Four of Challenges, Four of Swords, right? Something that could be seen as a challenge, yet for you, there's plenty. The blessing, like you've been blessed. Now, supporting the heart of the matter is the Huntsman. This is the Justice card in the Forest of Enchantment deck. It's a very interesting version of Justice. And so Justice is ruled by Venus, right? So it's almost like there's like this idea so far that you will always be provided for, right? He's got his bow and arrow. Yeah, he's being gentle with these deer. You'll always be provided for. There's a fruit tree giving fruit, and you are a blessing is what's coming up. Supporting the heart of the matter is the Two of Pipes or Two of Wands. And it's almost like they're paddling towards this home. So in relationship, there's this home life, there's this peacefulness to it. The blessing, interesting. Okay, foundation card is the Six of Pentacles. This hen feels very Virgo-like, being a little nitpicky. This is a 6th year. Kind of, where are we being too nitpicky? So something here, like almost like you are being blessed, yet there's this feeling of just like, nope, that doesn't work, and kind of maybe a little bit of harshness the way that this tower is. Let's see what else is going on. Behind the scenes, we have the Seven of Bowls, Seven of Cups. It's like they're swimming with dolphins. It's in the background. A lot of emotion. There's the Ace of Pentacles here. Dung Beetle. This is the Animal Totem deck. It's a really fun one. He's making resources out of, poop. Dung beetle, right? Garbage. He's taking it and he's using it resourcefully. There's something there in the background. It just keeps having this layers of like you are taken care of. You have a budding fruit tree in the cold. You have a huntsman there who can provide food for you at any minute that you need it. You're in relationship here. It looks like it's a peaceful situation. There's some nitpicky energy here. Although there's this like you're being cared for in the background. It's a very resourceful situation. Let's see what's going on in the future position. The Page of Cups, offering you like this cup of satisfaction, wanting you to have more fun. And here's the cup of satisfaction, the Ace of Cups. There's this lightness. So remembering the ways that you're blessed, remembering that you're cared for and provided for, that being grateful that you are, knowing in this 6th year that you're going to move ahead, that you will continue to be blessed, and just kind of this softness coming in here. I'm going to roll some dice. We've got Leo, got the North Node in Leo in the 12th house. So North Node has to do with like your soul's contract, why you came here, your life's purpose here on this planet. In Leo, big heart, big love, big joy. 12th house is, well, it's Pisces house. It's very dreamy and creative. And there's something here about expressing your creativity, expressing your heart's desire. And also the 12th house is a house of retreating and taking that time to rest. And there's a lot of energy in your future position about more fun, more lightness, more joy. Okay, so allowing all these intense planetary activity to bring you some lightness, to bring you your heart's desire, really, and a little bit less nitpicky and a little bit more feeling blessed. Okay, I'm going to pick a few letters. Oh, and I'm going to do a few charms. Got a diamond ring up at the top and a flag. A lot fell on the 4 of challenges. A moose, a tree with citrine on it, the number 55. The number 55 twice. 5-5, and this one's 5-5. So you can look at this as 5s as change, right? Or you could call these 10s and they would be a 1, which would be newness. Also, I love double numbers like that. Okay, so interesting that in this 4 of challenges, it's like there's this commitment, there's this loyalty, and there's a tree of life on top of a tree that's producing fruit in the winter. Interesting. I've got a key, or an old-fashioned key on top of the huntsman, justice, and a lotus flower. Got this little boy. I think it's Rick and Morty, one of those guys. It's my kids. Okay, I got the letter G. I've got another 5 down here with this gift. This came up in the first deck, too. 6th year, the year of the gift. We have labradorite, stone of magic. And we've got this little unicycle, and the number 52 fell on the Ace of Cups. All right, let's see what we've got for letters. I've got a Q and a Y, H, O, B, E, T, W, E, D, H. I got a lot of letters. Let's see what I can make with it. I think I have the word great, G-R-E-E-A-T. And I also think I can make the word greet, G-R-E-E-T. Do I have another T? Maybe not. I've got the word hold, H-O-L-D, and holds, which was happening here, being held. Got the word one, W-O-N. I've got the word crone, like old crone, is that a word? And, well, I have the word boy. That was the second reference to boy, and the Page of Cups is kind of a young boy. And, what else? Anything else? Well, I am going to leave it for you. And I'm going to let you see what you can come up with, because I think I got everything I could. All right. Have a fabulous week. Pile number 3. This Mischief card from the Relative Oracle. So cute. Okay, so the whole idea that I had behind this was I pulled a Death card because there's so much Pluto activity, and I pulled a Tower card from a few different decks. And because there's so much Uranus going on, with Mercury retrograde starting in the sign of Aquarius, it's ruled by Uranus, and then with the Uranus-Saturn square going on. So big power player planets, right? Big power player planets that want to bring change. And it can feel overwhelming, believe me. But what is the gift here? What are we going to find there at the bottom that needs to be cleaned out? Okay, so we have the Mischief card here, using this as a clue to what needs to be cleaned out. Let's see what we got for the versions of the Death and the Tower. This is from the New Mermaids Tarot that we just got in from Dame Darcy. And we have the Tower card here. It almost looks like a tsunami, like a big wave coming up over. And it's interesting because the Tower looks like it's on fire, but the wave looks like maybe it's going to put it out. That's a very interesting version. Almost like moods, watery energy, the moon ruling the tide. And then this Mischief card, he's got a newspaper, right? There's information being shared. And the Death card is from the Everyday Witch. This version, cutting the cord and this new door opening. I like this version of the Death card. So it definitely feels like there's a lot of watery emotion. It's almost like the emotion's actually coming up to put out the fire. Maybe there's been some drama. Maybe there's been some bad talk about you, bad press kind of. And then there's this idea that there's this new door opening. So maybe you've had some bad behavior. Maybe you've gotten into trouble lately. Or maybe you've just been a little dramatic in your relationships. Now there's this cutting the cord coming in. What needs to be, what relationships, what's going on that there's something that needs to be cut away so that a new door can open here. So you reflect on that as we read the rest of these cards for your week ahead. See what we have going on. I have a whole bunch of decks here. Haven't looked at anything yet. So 7 of Challenges, 7 of Swords is starting us off. What you need to know right now, kind of reflecting what's going on right now. And these foxes are basically stealing from you while you're sleeping. And 7 of Challenges, but in a way, another way to look at it is maybe they're taking away things that you no longer need. Right? Maybe you have everything you need inside that little cabin. Maybe you don't need these things. Allow them to be taken from you. 7 is your spiritual path. It's swords. It's called challenges here. I don't like that they call it challenges, but what does it have to be a challenge? Can it be an opportunity? It's all how we look at it. Supporting the heart of the matter, we have the Knight of Cups. Interesting creature there. Kind of clumsy, right? And it almost kind of feels like the kid is in mischief, but like he's growing up, he's learning. It's going to be clumsy. You're going to do stupid things. You're going to knock things over. And it's there supporting your heart. So it's almost like breakups happen, things happen. Sometimes we lose. Sometimes it doesn't always work out our way. But maybe we win in the long run. What's the bigger picture? Supporting the heart, we have the 10 of Pipes or 10 of Wands. Almost looks like the kid is like learning from the parent, right? So maybe this is learned behavior. Maybe this is just something that had to be gone through to be able to shine some light on it. Maybe it's just some dysfunctional behavior. Maybe maybe you need to cut some cords with your past self. Or maybe you need to let yourself off the hook a little bit, that we all make mistakes. Coming in on the foundation is the Chariot, the killer whale, full speed ahead. Coming in on the foundation, also a 7, so your top and bottom, so it's 7s here, your spiritual path. Maybe this is the way that it needed to go. Maybe this tsunami actually came and saved and put the fire out. Maybe cutting this cord actually opened up a new door of opportunity for you. In the background, we have the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles in the background. Maybe your mistake cost you a little money. Here's the Council of Animals, a Judgment card. Maybe not everyone agreed with you. Maybe you were judged. Or maybe you were freed. In your future position, I have the Nine of Swords, the good old worrying card, right? Anxiety, insomnia, that kind of stuff. And the Four of Stones, Four of Pentacles. She doesn't seem very in the moment, just kind of going back to the stuff. I'm going back. I think it's like, I'm getting like guilt. I'm getting like you're beating yourself up for some bad behavior that you had that, you know what? We all have it sometimes. And maybe this was part of you growing up. It's like this clumsy energy. Maybe some things were taken from you that you felt was horrible at the time. But maybe in actuality, it helped you. And it helped you move forward because this is a killer whale, fully empowered, right? And the Chariot is ruled by the moon. It's emotional. It's pulling you forward in emotions. There's something here, and it's like you have this Mischief card way up at the top, the kid, and then the killer whale at the bottom. Look how you've grown. You're a powerhouse. And I think it's time to let yourself off the hook because you're caught up in anxiety, overthinking, and kind of just like not staying present. So let's find out what the solution is. How can you work through this? Because right now this stuff wants to come up and out. This is what's kind of at the bottom, is like this old stuff. Learn behavior. Things you did as a kid, things you did when you were immature, things that might have cost you money. Maybe people judged you, but it's time to move on from this. You're ready. So let's get a little more info about if there's any more clues about what this is or how to care for it. So I'm going to pull 2 for what this is about. I've got the 3 of Stones. Let me just pull this. So this is about what it's about, and then what the solution is. Like how you can get back to sleep and how you can stay more in the moment. Okay. So what this is about, and then we have one more card that kind of jumped out. There's 3 of Stones here. There's some sale of something going on here. Maybe it was business decisions or something there. And then the Oracle card is conscientious. Doing some cleanup work there. Okay, that's what it's saying that this is about, that's ready to go. Maybe you had a bad transaction with something. Maybe it made some bad business deals. Maybe other people had to clean up after you. Now, how can you get some rest? How can you get some peace? 2 of Cups, 2 of Bowls. Healthy situations, healthy relationships. Shared joy with yourself, too. It's like letting yourself off the hook. And leisure. Very relaxing. You need to take some time and you need to be kinder to yourself is the bottom line. And then this one wanted to be here. Let's see what it is. It's visionary. Feels so Aquarius. Visionary. You were just a kid. You've grown up. Things have changed. Lighten up. Be kinder to yourself and start looking ahead. Where are you going? What do you want to do? This stuff, clear it up. Get it out. You're going to be able to move so much lighter forward. All right, let's do some dice. Jupiter, 11th house, Sagittarius. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It's the bigger picture, spirituality, expansion of your world. 11th house is Aquarius's house, right? The genius, large groups of people, the friends. I see your life expanding. You let yourself off the hook about this old stuff. Clean it up, clear it out. It's almost like she's mopping. Clean it up, get it out, get some good rest at night, let yourself off the hook, get more in the present moment, be kinder to yourself, and just have a little fun. Some nice leisure. Anywhere that you can find some rest and relaxation includes water, so even if that's just your bathtub. Okay, I'm gonna pull a few charms. Something fell off the table. This little guy keeps showing up in all the readings. I think he's like Rick or Morty, or I don't know. I've never watched that, but my kids have, so it's in there. Okay, we've got a triangle, piece of jewelry. We got Votes for Women pin with an owl charm stuck behind it. There's the owl, and there's the Votes for Women. And it fell on Visionary, and there's an eraser. And so it's almost like, I'm getting kind of like a vibe like we fought so hard to get what we have. Like maybe we haven't, but like our ancestors did before us, and it wasn't that long ago. And we need to votes for women, for our freedom, visionary, thinking ahead, the bigger picture. And there's an eraser here. And it's time to clean up some of that stuff that you didn't like about yourself as a kid and let it go, move on, find some closure with it. The number 55 jumped out, got the letter G. I've got the word how on top of the Knight of Cups, along with a cake with a ring stuck over it. Very cool. Got this like Celtic cross going. The number 2 up here under Mischief, and the letter J over here by the Tower. Okay, let's do some letters. Let's see what we got for you. This pretty wild and intense week ahead. You're going to take some leisure time as much as you can. Hopefully this weekend when the moon is in Cancer, you'll get to rest a little, sleep in a little. Okay, got a lot of R's. So far I see 4 R's and SN. All right, got a Y and a V and a D and a G. And I wanted to write the word snooze, but I don't think I have a Z. I have, I have the word read, R-E-A-D. R-E, where'd my A go? Read. And I've got the word heal, H-E-A-L. Heal and read. Give, G-I-V-E. And, oh, I have the word snore. You need some sleep. Yep. And anything else? I've got the word rise. Okay, so I'm gonna let you, I have the name Roy also and the name Rory. Okay, so rise, you need to sleep, basically. You need some leisure, you need to heal, you need to read, give as you can, but give to yourself right now. And if the name Roy or Rory is important to you, that came up too. All right, have a fabulous week.